Picture an ancient forest, thick with mist, where the boundary between the physical world and the realm of myth blurs. In this silence, hidden among towering trees, a figure awaits. The mysterious horned god, Cernunnos. Known as the Gaelic god of beasts and wild places, he is both guardian and ruler, a mediator of man and nature, and a deity whose essence calls us back to a time when the wild world was sacred and untamed.
Let's journey through realms of gods and symbols, uncovering the archetypes that shape us all.
Historically, Cernunnos was revered as a god of the wild, embodying the balance between predator and prey. His image survives only in fragments, yet his story speaks across ages, touching upon themes of life, death, nature, and the human psyche. Cernunnos, which in ancient Gaelic means horned one, may have ruled over wilderness and primal forces, symbolized by his antlers, a striking reminder of both his power and connection to nature. Much of what we know about Cernunnos is pieced together from relics and ancient artifacts. The name Cernunnos appears just once in historical sources, carved into the pillar of the Boatmen in Paris, depicting a horned figure with torcs around his antlers. The torc, a sacred Celtic symbol, reflects power and status, suggesting that Cernunnos held a revered place among early Gaelic tribes. Beyond the pillar, we find evidence of horned gods on the famous Gundestrup cauldron, a 1st century BCE artifact bearing an image of a horned figure surrounded by animals, from snakes to wolves. Whether this represents Cernunnos or an archetypal deity worshipped across Celtic Europe, it's clear that horned gods held a unique place in ancient spirituality. Cernunnos' antlers symbolize more than just the wilderness, they serve as powerful reminders of life's cyclical nature, birth, death, and rebirth. In Jungian depth psychology, horns are symbolic extensions of the human spirit, reaching outward to connect with something greater. The archetype of the horned god invites us to connect with our inner wilderness, to explore the parts of ourselves that we often repress, the instincts, the desires, and the primal emotions society discourages. In myth, Cernunnos' role as a mediator between predator and prey, like wolves and deer, reflects a balance between life forces, both creation and destruction. His ability to bring natural enemies into peace may signify a need for us to find harmony between our own inner conflicts. If you're drawn to Cernunnos, it might suggest a call from your unconscious to reconcile these wild parts of yourself. One of the most enigmatic aspects of Cernunnos is the lack of recorded myths. His worship and stories were likely passed down orally and were lost with the arrival of Roman influences and Christianity. Cernunnos then re-emerges as a composite figure in the 19th century revival movements, embodying a resurgence of interest in pre-Christian European beliefs. Margaret Murray's The God of the Witches imagined Cernunnos as a pagan symbol of horned gods worshipped in secret after Christianity took hold. While historians today view these interpretations cautiously, Murray's work reignited interest in Cernunnos, shaping modern pagan views of him as a symbol of freedom, wildness, and the raw essence of life. Interestingly, Cernunnos shares striking similarities with horned deities from other cultures. The Greek god Pan, a wild, goat-horned figure who revels in nature, and the Roman Silvanus, god of forests, share aspects of Cernunnos' characteristics. These deities represent humanity's enduring fascination with wild, untamed places and the mysteries within them. This universal presence of horned gods might indicate a deep-seated archetype in the human psyche. If we follow these ancient paths, Cernunnos serves as a reminder that even in modernity, there's a part of us that remains wild and untamed. Since the 19th century, Cernunnos has taken on new life in neo-pagan traditions, where he represents a god of both life and death. Modern depictions often show him in partnership with the goddess, embodying cycles of growth and decay. For neo-pagans, Cernunnos, or the Green Man, symbolizes rebirth, the eternal return of life after winter's sleep, and our deep-rooted relationship with nature. We might argue that this resurgence of Cernunnos taps into our collective need to reconnect with nature, especially in an age where we feel increasingly disconnected from it. The horned god reminds us of our interdependence with the world, a concept especially relevant today as we face ecological crises. Cernunnos also represents the shadow, a concept that encompasses the hidden, often suppressed parts of ourselves. For those drawn to him, Cernunnos might represent a call to face our own untamed nature and embrace the parts of ourselves we fear or misunderstand. A journey toward psychological wholeness. If Cernunnos has sparked something within you, perhaps it's an invitation to explore these ancient parts of ourselves, to reconnect with our roots. Here at HermesHub, we delve deep into mythology, psychology, and symbols that speak to our souls.
If you're as captivated by the ancient mysteries as we are, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into myth and meaning.